kinds of weather. Try STP oil treatment in your family car and run racer sharp.
Hi, Andy Granatelli here. Most people know if their engine's well-tuned in winter, it'll start faster. But a lot of people don't know what stop-and-go traffic like this can do to untune your car's engine. And traffic's getting worse. That's why our STP gasoline treatment had to get better. Now when you add it to your gas, it helps clean your spark plugs better, clean your carburetor better, so you help clean and tune your engine as you drive.
STP double power gasoline treatment. You'll feel the difference.
Every move goes smoothly. Their trucks use STP oil treatment. These trucks have to haul tremendous loads under all conditions, through crosstown traffic, cross-country miles, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Through it all, STP helps keep them running smoother, cooler, quieter, longer, in all kinds of weather. Try STP oil treatment in your family car and run racer sharp.
Hi, Andy Granatelli here. Most people know if their engine's well-tuned in winter, it'll start faster. But a lot of people don't know what stop-and-go traffic like this can do to untune your car's engine. And traffic's getting worse. That's why our STP gasoline treatment had to get better. Now when you add it to your gas, it helps clean your spark plugs better, clean your carburetor better, so you help clean and tune your engine as you drive.
STP double power gasoline treatment. You'll feel the difference.
Back again at the King Louie West Lanes in Overland Park, Kansas. Larry Lobb leads by 20 pins. He has a three-bagger working.
Make it 4 in a row. Chris, we talked about a 300. He's perfect for the first 4 frames. Will this be the game?
And if you just joined us, in the first game, he bowled against airman Paul Cwell. Lobb, at whom we're looking, shot a 280. Cwell a 204. So Larry Lobb has really been stringing them here. He now has 15 in a row, 11 in the first game, 4 here.
Chris, a little technical point there from our statistician. He had 11 strikes, but the last 10 were in a row.
Right.
And the first 4, so actually he has 14 in a row.
Right. And with the split, here's a split screen of what happened.
Now, Chris, he talked earlier about the slow approach. There he gets started a little too fast. You see the body go left. The ball goes right because the weight wasn't in the same quadrant, and he couldn't swing it through properly.
Now, Billy, what do you do?
Well, you pray hard and try to get the shot to go to the left. Slide the 1 into the 10. The ball, of course, will take out the 2. Looks pretty good, no?
Not been enough. A little encouragement from the standing room only crowd for Larry Lobb. And the lead has been cut to 15 pins, so Palmer Falgren, shooting in the 5th, has a strike up.
Look out if he gets this shot headed to the pocket. 6, 7, 10. A little pull there, Chris. This young man's getting his baptism of fire today. He's only 20. You've got to compliment him to come just this far.
Quite a colorful shirt that Palmer Falgren is on today.
I was going to ask, you'll be doing the Hawaiian Open golf tournament on ABC. Did you bring that back for him?
Well, I wore one similar to it. Byron Nelson and I...
He might make this, Chris, you know?
Nearly. One thing nice about these youngsters, Billy, they have a lot of gestures. They sort of release all that tension that's in them.
Well, Chris, as you know, and as any sports enthusiast or competitor watching certainly has experienced, all sports is highly emotional, whether you show it or not.
Mm-hmm.
The adrenaline is flowing, regardless of what field of competition you're engaged in.
More like it. Getting a little help on the left side of the lane. And it's a strike in the 6th frame for Palmer Falgren. Let's see it again.
Now, right there, he stays with the shot. You see the firmness. He's pleased with it. Now, look at there. It looks like he's ready for the ring.
And now here's the leader, Larry Lobb, shooting in the 6th after an open. 10 pin in the right lane. The winner will meet Barry Asher from Costa Mesa, California. And the winner of that semifinal game will go against Max Jensen from Lincoln, Nebraska.
Great notice from deep left, cross lane to right.
27 pin lead by Larry Lobb, who in the first game shot a 280 to Paul Caldwell's 204. Winner today on our live color telecast will receive $6,000. This is the $50,000 King Louie Open.
Notice the little knee bend there. That's sort of relaxing in his stance.
A little nudge on the 4. Make it the 7. Speaking of something lovely, this is the trophy that goes also to the winner. So now Larry Billy moves over almost to the return to do this cross lane attempt at the 7 pin. Lobb leading by 26 pins. In this second, we'll return with the balance of it in just a moment.
Firestone brings you the people tire. It is really tough. Maybe you can find enough junk, enough chuck holes, enough curbs to do it in. But it's tough. Tough because of the way Firestone builds this tire. With 2 armor belts of steel cord right under the tread. The Firestone 500 steel belt, the people tire. With just a little care, it will really take care of you.
Howard K. Smith, newsman, co-anchorman on the ABC Evening News. In the far places of the world, or here in his own library, Howard K. Smith analyzes and interprets the day's events with an insight developed during 30 years of award-winning broadcast journalism. Howard K. Smith knows a lot about what's going on in the world, and he shares what he knows with you, weeknights, on the ABC Evening News.
Back again at the King Louie West Lanes, second match, Professional Bowlers Tour, live and in color. Shooting in the 7th frame, Palmer Falgren, who trails by 26. He has a strike up.
Very important shot.
A double.
Chris, it cuts it to 16, puts him in the hunt for a turkey, which could then cut it to 6. That's why that shot was so important.
Now he'll be shooting in the 8th frame, and this is his opponent, Larry Lobb from San Francisco. A couple of Californians battling here in Kansas.
Chris Palmer Falgren made an important change in his game, and our folks might be interested in just what he did.
Recently made a major change in my game. I changed from a full roller to a semi-roller, and this made me create more area on the lanes and also give me a greater carrying power. And this is what I feel has made me make the show today.
Palmer's voice, and unfortunately didn't get the carry he was looking for as he left the 10 pin.
Chris, it's an important point because a change in your game is very, very difficult. If you do not have the time to vote, to practice, it could throw you off and hurt you. There have been some pros that have made changes in their shot, the same change that Palmer made. And I remember one, Joe Brown, a great bowler in the East, and he never was the same. So it might work for one and not for the other.
Okay. Larry Lobb, 17-pin lead, shooting in the 8th, spare up.
Chris, and on that 7-pin, he was solid. That's a tough break. Where he didn't carry in the 6th frame, that was the half hit or the soft shot. He didn't get the good fingers. Now he's got his concentration back. He's kind of settled his emotions down, And he's back to Mr. Smoothie again. I think he might strike out.
Smooth and slow on the approach, Larry Lobb.
Another well-rolled ball.
Beautiful follow-through. All right, there's the double up for Lobb. Now, Palmer Falgren trailing by 27, shooting in the ninth, the spare up.
Down by 27. If he can strike out in the ninth and the 10th, he would have a 217 game. Assuming Larry Lobb would not open, Palmer would be out of it. Now Palmer can throw it to Larry Lobb. If he can make 3 strikes here and go out with 217, he would force Larry Lobb to mark in the final frame.
All right. This is the second game. Lobb winning the first over Paul Cwell, 280 to 204. Drying his hand over the blower on the return.
This is so very important. The hand perspires a little bit, and you need to grip the ball properly. If it's wet, you lose it on the downswing. He knew it.
Let's see it again right from the beginning.
And there's where the trouble happened, right there, Chris. Ball down too soon. You see it hang in the backswing. Now, right here, when he comes through, he doesn't get the lift. You see it fly away from his hand, and the ball's just going to sail by. Doesn't get the mixing action off the wall, and certainly didn't get the hook back into the 1-3 pocket.
But he gets the bucket. Nice job of covering it. However, it isn't what he wanted.
Well, certainly not, but it's like they've often said, and I remember the first time I was in this shape, they asked me, how you think you're going to do? I said, I don't know, I've never been here before. And you've got to be there a few times to get that experience. There's nothing like experience, Chris.
A 197 for Palmer Falgren. Fine performance by the 20-year-older from Sacramento.
Now, it's purely academic. Larry Lobb is the winner, but he can strike out for 244.
To go with the 280 in the first. There is your winner. He's now won 2, and if he can win 2 more, he is the King Louie champion. But he first has to go against Barry Asher, who is tough. And the winner of that, of course, will meet Max Jensen for the championship. You know, tomorrow, here on ABC at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, NBA basketball. Los Angeles Lakers against the Baltimore Bullets from College Park, Maryland. Then at 4:30, 3:30 Central, and 4 o'clock Pacific Time, ABC's award-winning outdoor series, The American Sportsman. And we have former football star Paul Hornung, who's sail fishing off the coast of Panama. Actor Marty Milner goes on a wood pigeon shoot in England, and naturalist Jim Fowler captures snakes in Africa.
A wood pigeon shoot? I got to watch that. Can you tell me what it is?
No.
Sounds exciting, though.
Oh, that's a good show. 233 for Larry Lobb, the winner, to Palmer Falgren's 197. And Lobb will meet this man, Barry Asher. Live and in color, you're watching the Professional Bowlers Tour coming to you from the King Louie West Lanes in Overland Park, Kansas.
Excuse me, I'm from Gillette.
Oh, yeah, for TV. I, Dick Jones.
I've switched to Gillette Platinum Plus.
I've switched
Perfect.
to...
How about you, sir?
Oh, I haven't tried Gillette Platinum Plus. All the blades are alike.
Oh, most of the guys I know can feel the difference. You get a smoother shave.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
Sure, Gillette Platinum Plus double-edger injector have platinum smooth edges for smoother shaves. Try them.
Yeah, see if you don't feel the difference.
Are you sure I'll feel the difference?
Did I call the game?
I'll feel the difference.
Some people drive around with a noisy muffler because they won't take the time to get a new one. But at Midas, usually will take only 30 minutes to install a muffler. That's all. 30 minutes to make the world a little quieter.
After 2 victories, Larry Lobb over first Paul Cwell and then Palmer Falgren, he now goes against Barry Asher in the semifinal. The victor to go into the finals for $6 grand against Max Jensen in our live color telecast from Kansas. They were rolling practice balls. Now it's for real. This is where the concentration really begins. And this 28-year-old professional bowler, Larry Lobb, has been able to do it 280 and a 233. Gets a break on the 10-10, leaving the 4-7, and Barry Asher watches.
Barry Asher showing a little concern there, and rightfully so. A man shooting 280 and 233.
Going for the 4-7 now. On the left lane, very first frame, third game. Okay.
Chris facing a man that's just averaged 256 for 2 games. That's like the fighter that got, you know, knocked down on the floor in his second. I asked him, "You gonna fight anymore?" He said, "Yeah, but not tonight."
Also the winner of 2 PBA titles, Barry Asher. First stroke.
Good stroke.
Lobbing it out there, striking. It's your protege, Billy.
Well, I'm very proud of this young man. He's really dedicated, and as you can see, he's really a finished player now. Travels a lot with Nelson Burton Jr., and as you'll hear him say when we have him up here in a minute to talk, he'll tell you about Nelson Burton Sr., who still helps bowlers.
Mm-hmm. Looking for a double. That's it. Now Larry Lobb, who won the first 2 games, goes against Barry Asher, trailing by 10, shooting in the second, a spare up. Larry Lobb coming up with a strike in the second frame. He's going against Barry Asher with 4 titles, and both, of course, eligible for the Firestone Tournament of Champions, which caps our 13-week tour of the country on Professional Bowlers Tour. And that telecast is April 1st. And total prize money, $125,000.
Mucho dinero. And that's well rolled, Chris. Too well. See that ball break sharply.
Leaving the 6-10, watching slow motion now.
Right here you're going to see where the roll is taking it through, and it's just charging through there, and almost leaves there with that lucky kick out of it on the 4. Gets away from a very, very difficult split.
6-10. All right. And now, Barry Asher, rolling his first game this afternoon in the semifinal position, or finishing second in the overall tournament, leading by 10 as a result of a double.
Chris, he's very charged up. You can see that by getting the 2 strikes. He kind of had the clinched fist motion, and that's a sign that he really wants to win.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. A little too...
What happened, Billy?
Well, I was going to say a little too fast, and he hung up in the thumb. You could hear the ball hitting the thumb hole as it went down the lane. Now, right here, he's trying to get the ball down quickly so it doesn't hesitate in his backswing. And he's going a little too fast here. Right there, he hangs up and doesn't get the good roll on the shot.
No sleeper 8, the 2-4-5. Here we go.
Chris, in talking with him, he talked about his performance last week and a change of style that he was going to use today. Here's what he had to say.
Analyzing my play last week in the Cougar Open, I found that I had a very big hesitation at the bottom of my push-away. So I tried to correct that by keeping the ball swinging at all times. And Nelson Burton Sr. noticed that my left side was collapsing, so I tried to firm it up this week and bowled real well.
All right, Barry Asher.
Now you see how quick he gets the ball into motion. That's what he's talking about.
Had it rolling. Strike in the fourth frame, a 7-pin lead, as we'll be back here at the King Louie West Lanes in Overland Park, Kansas in just a moment.
On the test track, we put a lot of miles on Mercury Comet to make sure it's a better small car, but it's nothing compared to what some of our Comet owners do.
I have 29,471 miles on it under all kinds of road conditions and all kinds of weather, and it gives me perfect performance.
We average about 500 miles a week. This is all stop and go, and maintenance is absolutely nil.
I've been running about 1,000 a week on it. I guess I'm a pretty hard driver. I'm generally out front. Hasn't given me any trouble.
Well, in this 7 months, we drove 51,000 miles. Went through all kinds of weather. Well, it did everything I expected and more too, really.
We built Mercury Comet with the idea a small car can only be first if it lasts. Better ideas make better cars. At the sign of the cat.
What better way to spend a Saturday afternoon than watch live colored telecasts from cities in the country? Here in Kansas, Larry Lobb in the third game, looking for one and gets it. Striking in the fourth, giving him 60 through the third, and he is trailing by 7 pins in the semifinal pivotal game. The winner will go into the finals against Max Jensen of Lincoln, Nebraska for the $6,000 first prize.
And wait till you folks see Max Jensen. And Chris, he is not yet eligible for Firestone. That final match could be a dilly.
Bob checking all positions here on the approach. Double. And that puts him up by 3 pins. So now Barry Asher, who has a strike up in the fourth, shoots in the fifth.
How about the roll on that ball, Chris?
Larry Lobb saw 2. And that puts cool Barry Asher up 7 pins.
We call that kind of a strike. For many years, it's been called the flower pot. And in case the viewers wonder why, it's like you're dropping a flower pot and it's going to the right and to the left. The pins just separate and go right and left. A lot of roll on that last ball. Pretty good leverage. Oh, maybe a little too much.
10 pin. Let's see a split screen playback.
Here you see how quickly the player puts the ball into motion. Now right there you see he's locking that leg in, and watch the result of that leverage. A little too much power, and that's calculated risk. He's very unhappy there. He wants to break that pin in half.
Which wouldn't be too easy, would it?
No, it wouldn't, Chris.
And there goes that 10 pin, which weighs how much, Billy?
Well, Chris, the weight will vary, but mostly around the country there'll be 3 pounds 5 ounces, 3 pounds 6 ounces. Some sweeper tournaments use as heavy as 4-pound pins, which are a little harder to knock over and keep the scores down a little bit.
Leading, or rather trailing, by 6, Larry Lobb. And with that, it's a 3-bagger, and he regains the lead by 4 as we look at his footwork.
Chris, this very much by the book player, Larry Lobb. There you see, beautiful footwork. Notice how he keeps his foot straight at the line. That lets the arm swing come through. Got the nice knee bend in there. He's one of the fine players on the tour. He's really become a finished player in the last 3 months.
Leading by 4. team. Beautiful bowling as the action will continue here at the King Louie West Lanes after this message.
Ebonite, the pro ball that wins the big ones. Ebonite Gyro, the bowling ball concept perfected by the pros. Ebonite has a ball for every bowling style. The famous Gyro 1, the unique harder surface Gyro 2, and the lower-priced Ebonite Maxim 4. The same balls rolled by the big names in bowling. Ray Blue, Don Glover, Johnny Gunther, Bob Strampy, Carmen Salvino, Barry Asher, Loa Boxberger, and Don Carter, Mr. Bowling himself.
Let your Ebonite Pro Shop professionally fit and drill your Ebonite ball now.
Bowl with the Ebonite Edge. Strike it big. Every frame, every game.
And after watching Parade of Champions in bowling in the center with spectacles, there's a champion among the proprietors in the country. Victor Lerner, our host here, and champion Barry Asher has just made a strike in the 7th frame, trailing by 14, and boy, he would like to double here.
He surely would, Chris. And you're paying a compliment to Vic Lerner. He's a very perceptive businessman, and he has surrounded himself with wonderful people. The man that makes it all happen for him is Executive Vice President Al Bornstein, and then, of course, Neil Early here at the King Louie West. They've just done everything beautifully to make it a success here for the Pro Bowlers Tour.
8th frame, left lane, Barry Asher, Costa Mesa, California.
We've got a match, Chris.
Larry Lobb leads the 4th inning. Larry, who has put together 4 in a row, now shoots in the 8th frame, leading by 4. The winner of this match, the semifinal game, goes into the finals against 280-pound Max Jensen from Lincoln, Nebraska.
Still got a match.
Seesaw battle here for the right to go into the finals between Larry Lobb, who won the first 2 games with a 280 and a 233. Now leads by 14 again, shoots in the 9th.
Chris, here are the possibilities. If Larry Lobb, of course, strikes here, he'll go then to a 24-pin lead, and he has a possible 270 game. Barry Asher has a possible 256 game. This might be called the barn burner. We are live, and Larry Lobb is live.
So now, let's watch the swing of Barry Asher here, who is down by 24, has a double working for him. Will be shooting in the 9th frame.
And for Barry Asher to stay alive, he needs this strike. Looking pretty good.
Alive. Overland Park, Kansas. Nice and comfortable inside, and here's the comfortable approach of Barry Asher.
Now, Chris, from this side view, there you see the lock-in. So he's keeping his body from falling left. Keep that weight under you. You get the good leverage in the shot, and it lets the swing come through true.
All right. Following our live telecast from Overland Park, it'll be ABC's Wide World of Sports, International Drag Racing, International Bikini Sports Competition, Cresta. Larry Lobb, Barry Asher's opponent, saw the strike that gives Barry a 4-bagger, and now trails by only 4.
That means if he gets this strike, he can take the lead. He has a possible 256 game. This strike would put the pressure on Larry Lobb. Already now, Larry Lobb needs a mark. If Barry Asher makes a strike here, then Larry Lobb would need a strike.
Let's watch. transitioning toward the